Okay, so the next elements that we're going to talk about is space, texture, and mass. And we're going to break this down into three short clips. So the first one we're going to talk about is space. So space is the area around a form. So example would be any area around the furniture in a room. So interior space is often defined by your height, length, and your width. So it affects how the room can be used. So for example, if you had a 10 by 12 room, it's a decently sized room, but it's probably too small for two teenagers to coexist together in, even if you had bunk beds. However, if you had two small children, like toddlers, that lived and shared the space, you could have two bunk beds in there, or even two smaller twin size beds, and that would still leave them plenty of space to play around in. So, a 10 by 12 room may be great when they're little, not so great when they're taller. So how does design affect space? Well, design can be used to change the visual size of the room. So to open and expand spaces, we could use mirrors or remove walls. You'd have to make sure that it's not a load-bearing wall in which it's actually helping keep the structure of the house. So if it's a load-bearing wall, you pretty much can't get rid of it. However, if it's not a load-bearing wall, you can get rid of it. You can make it a half wall. You can utilize mirrors. You can utilize light colors and let a lot of natural light in. So there are ways to open up your space while creating the illusion that it's bigger than what it is. So we can make a room more cozy by dividing room into separate areas by using area rugs or like clustering your furniture. So if you've ever looked into a studio apartments are literally one giant room. Your kitchen, your living room, and your bedroom are all in one spot, and there's no walls to break them up. However, you can use the different types of area rugs and furnitures to cluster them and say, this is where my living space is going to be, this is where my bedroom is going to be, and this is where my cooking and eating area is going to be. So you can actually utilize space and break it up by using your different furniture pieces. So for example, in this picture right here, we see that we actually have a lot of open space, and it's not necessarily the most inviting space in here. It uses a lot of darker wall colors, so it actually makes the space look more closed in, even though there's a lot of open floor space. But in here, what could we do to kind of change it up? Well, we can add a gigantic area rug. We can paint the rooms lighter. We can add a coffee table with maybe some magazines on it. But this looks like to be a very, very formal room that's not inviting for people to want to come in and have a conversation. So if you add a couple of more elements to it, some more forms to it, you can really make this space worthwhile.